Today, Mr. Pig is getting an addition on his house. Got the sounds of spring all around us, so don't mind that. But this is Mr. Pig's original house here. We've made a couple modifications since we brought him home that first day, but I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a little house tour, and then he is getting an addition today and just some things. So he's gotten big, which is why we're doing this. Anytime that we're working on a project in his pen, he's eating. So we filled his pan, and then I've got about 2 pounds of peanuts here that we can spread around. He knows I've got them, but we can spread them around and kind of keep him occupied to this side while we're working to keep him out from underfoot. So in terms of pig projects, that's definitely my number one tip. I spread them out kind of in a row here so he can kind of work himself around the outside without getting in the way, because in the way is his favorite place to be. Okay, so we built Mr. Pig's house the day before we got him, actually. And so it's just been here that long, which we got him in January. And by the nature of pigs, it just settled into the ground because they root, which you can see here. He also loves to itch on stuff, so we put this brush head on there for him. And then we added this rug after the fact because he looked pretty dang cold. So we've got it filled with a mixture of straw and wood chips. And then right now it's 4 pallets. There's one on each side, one on the top. And then we put down these plastic slip sheets for protecting merchandise and stuff like that in transport. So we just put those down, threw the rug on top, and that was that. So what we're gonna be doing is it's gonna take 3 pallets. We're gonna do 1, 2, and another one on top. So he'll still have one side to go in and out, but this way he's got twice as much space. So here's Mr. Pig in his summer bed. But check out his new house. It's pretty fancy. So he has this little awning here for shade because he doesn't have much else for shade, really. Just his house provides shade. And then it's pretty dry right now, but that's where he has his little wallow. So the front of this is the rug that we had earlier. We had it the other direction, so it's not quite broken, but it's huge. He's got more than double the space now, so pretty cool. It's windy every day here anymore, so hopefully you guys can hear me. If not, I'll try to figure something out here. But we got most of these supplies for free, which I didn't really address yesterday as we were building it. So today is the next morning. I just finished watering his ground here. It's a little bit warm. So the scratchy broom thing there we have a bunch of push brooms. That one broke over the summer and we just kind of threw it off to the side last year, and I was like, hey, we could repurpose this way. So I mean, that was just kind of found here. The rug was in our living room under the breakfast table, and I just decided that he needed a rug to help block that, but also provide like a good floppy door so he could get in and out. So that's how he got that. The pallets I got from work, and I do want to just kind of put like a general PSA out there. Don't steal for supplies. Make sure that you're asking somebody. We have a lot of people steal our pallets at work, and we actually do have to turn them back in to get our like money back on them. So I got permission to take these pallets. We didn't steal them. And then also Ronnie was able to get a couple at work as well that were a different size. And then the plastic slip sheets I got at work, again, I asked permission, I didn't just steal them. So the only things that we had to buy to build this project were the washers and the screws. And I think we went through like a container and a half of each, because they come in these little round containers. I think they're inside. If I see them, I can take a picture and show you guys what they are. I'll throw it up on the screen. But yeah, that was all we had to buy. And then we already had power tools. So I would assume if you have like a homestead situation going on or are considering keeping livestock, you probably have some power tools. If not, you can reach out to a friend. You can check Facebook Marketplace, anything like that to get the tools that you need. We used a combination of a circular saw, a reciprocating saw, and an impact to get the screws in, and then just to cut stuff down to size. I think that's it for tools. We did use a hammer to hammer a couple of the nails in on the pallets, just because we wanted to make sure that he was safe and nothing was sticking out that he could cut himself on while he's scratching. And we also used it to kind of dig out the older one, and a pickaxe as well, which you probably don't need those, but we did use that to dig out the old one so we could level it up to attach the new pieces. So other than like the washers and the screws, the only thing that we've really paid for his house has been straw and wood chips. And we just get those at either Tractor Supply or Rural King, whoever has the best deal while we're shopping, or wherever we're shopping when we realize that we need it. So just depends. So yeah, that's pretty much it. The washers, just as a side note here, because I asked Ronnie about that yesterday when we were putting it together. I was like, why do we have so many washers on this dang thing? And he had a magnificent point, so I wanted to share that in case you guys were thinking about going without those. The wind pulling on those plastic sheets would rip it right over the screw head. So I was like, that makes so much sense. I didn't even think about that. So I'm super glad that I have Ronnie to think of those things for me. But if you don't, you have us to think of it for you. And then also he used a bunch of them on the gate too. And he said that was because Mr. Pig could push a board right over the end of a screw head, which is totally true. He is a little tank. He's over there taking a nap. We tease him that that's his summer bed, because if it's sunshiny, he like cat naps out there. So if it's cold, he's in his house, but if it's sunshiny, he's outside in his little summer bed. But there you have it. Pretty easy overall. It does take some general, working knowledge of puzzles and how to put pieces together and stuff like that, but nothing too crazy, nothing outside of the realm that most people are able to do. And yeah, it's not fancy, but it gets the job done. So there you have it. And I kind of mentioned this in the other clip that like he doesn't really have shade other than what his house provides, and you can see that here. Like it's 1 o'clock, I think, and there's no shade here. The only shade in this whole thing is a little teeny line over there by that like exterior wall, just a little teeny bit, and then what his house provides. So we've actually doubled his shade here, and then around, I don't know why my hand looks like that, looks weird anyway, but around like 3 or 4, the sun will be hitting that overhang portion enough that he will get the added benefit of additional shade there. So he's very cute. But yeah, overall super easy, very inexpensive. Again, just don't steal supplies. I'm sure you know somebody who's getting rid of pallets or what have you. I've seen a lot on Facebook Marketplace where you can pay like $2 a pallet